Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Stonewalkers, presented by iCast Fireball. I am Thomas, your GM for this Cosmere RP adventure, and around the table we have...
Christian Randall playing Drynin.
I play Reshonai.
I'm Ned. I play Aldevar Walde.
And Josh playing Janar Balar.
And that certainly wasn't our second take. If this is your first time joining us, hi, we are iCast Fireball, an actual play TTRPG podcast where we typically play through 5e D&D published adventures. We have an audio-only podcast that is published weekly with over 4 years worth of episodes ready for your listening pleasure. But this is our ongoing actual play Cosmere adventure where we jump into the worlds of Brandon Sanderson and play the official adventure Stonewalkers, published by Brotherwise Games. This adventure takes place in the Stormlight Archive series, so if you're this far, you know that there's going to be spoilers to the series overall. But if you don't mind spoilers, pull up a chair. Come on, join us as our cast member Ned has not read the book 2 and on, or really even all of book 1 as well. So he's going into this just as blind as you are. And so lastly, as a general disclaimer, although we know that the timeline and that there's canon with the timeline with books 1 through 5, we're going to do our best to stick to that timeline, stick to that canon. But if we're a little bit off, please give us a little grace while we reorient and try to fit canon into our TTRPG as well. But without any other announcements, I say we jump into this week's episode of Stonewalkers. Last we left our adventurers, they had successfully traveled to the Shattered Plains. Quick question, no adventuring party name yet, right? I know this is no party name to call you by, but the 4 adventurers here, as they journey through the unclaimed hills, they travel to the Shattered Plains and successfully have appeared there with the Kholin contingent that they encountered at the Covenant Stone Crossroads. This contingent was not without sorrow, though, as in the recent high storm, their ally and friend Tazo, son Clucio, was killed by a mysterious assassin group. This assassin group, which I believe some of you, possibly Janar, was able to decipher a glyph specifically that might be tied to this type of assassin group. But their only way to find out what was happening, and with the charge of Tazo with his dying breath to find their contact in the Shattered Plains, to find Liss, they have headed there to do just that, as well as their own goals, as their own ambitions that they might have. They are all on their own journey before they reach their final destination. Now, for this, the crew has agreed to help Borden, the secret leader of this Kholin contingent, the Dark Eyes that has been tasked by Dalinar Kholin himself. Now that they're in the Shattered Plains, Borden has recruited them into a simple scouting mission to go out upon the Shattered Plains while he drums up information or rumors about who this Liss creature person might be and where they might be located, getting a definitive lead on Tazo's murderers. Now, before taking on this mission, of course, Janar Balar confronted Elar, which you might recall was a fairly tense confrontation.
Janar Balar confronts Elar.
Janar Balar to Elar. And Janar calling and hearkening Elar back to his nature of a leader and to call him to be better, to stop being a bully, and to start moving forward with honor. Now, unsure if his call to action was entirely successful, as it was a little dicey, literally dicey, the crew was sent on their mission to find the rumored Parshendi contingent on the Shattered Plains, and this is where we join our adventurers today. Heading off into the Shattered Plains, you have, as Ned has on our Roll20 here, this warcamp, the Kholin warcamp, has a natural rock formation around its perimeter, protecting it from high storms and from invasion from the Parshendi and, dare I say, even other high princes if they get bold enough. We find ourselves heading away from that, the southeast direction, towards just the vast expanse of the Shattered Plains itself. These Shattered Plains have nothing on them. They are completely barren, with minor shrubbery, minor vines, grass that is in patches, rock buds aplenty that shrivel up or move into themselves at any disturbance or vibrations. You are heading out to find this rumored Parshendi contingent. Aldevar, what are your thoughts as you are walking with your companions out onto the Shattered Plains?
I guess first question would be, in Azir, where I spent kind of most of my youth, what's the Parshendi situation like over there as opposed to this part of the world that we're currently in?
Yeah, great point. This is general information that I'm going to be giving, since I don't believe you have an expertise on Parshendi in general, but this information everybody in Roshar should know for the most part. Now, Parshendi they are a bit of an anomaly. The Parshendi, according to your knowledge and according to just the general knowledge of Roshar, live on the Shattered Plains. These are intelligent, quote-unquote, Parshmen or Parshwomen, which Parshmen and Parshwomen, if you recall Reshonai, how she was acting at the beginning of this adventure, they are subservient, they are viewed as property, they are dim-witted and slow, and therefore not thought to have, dare I say, really souls, despite being intelligent creatures. So Parshendi actually acting and being like humans, this is an anomaly. It is to the intelligent, it is an interesting intellectual exercise. To anybody in anthropology, it is a fascinating discovery. But it is a discovery for the world to wrap their minds around regardless and have to deal with, as this war with Alethkar has been going on for close to 5 years now, with these Parshendi. So this is just the general knowledge that you're taking into this as you have been sent out with your companions to go and find the supposed scout party.
Okay, and with cultural differences between Azir and the Vorin nations, are Parshmen treated the same in Azir as they would be treated here in Alethkar?
Yeah, I believe they
think
are.
so.
I believe they are. I'll double check that.
Status-wise,
while
they
we're
are
playing,
perhaps
but yeah.
like the specific manner in which they're treated or, like attended to might be different, but I believe the general understanding of like their social status is pretty similar.
Yeah, I think the Parshmen are treated as slaves pretty much all across Roshar.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
After the severing of
correct.
Ba'ar Mishram.
Okay, I think, so the big question that's on Aldevar's mind right now as we're heading off to, as LR asked us to do, to track dispatch and return with a full report, kind of looking over at Reshonai thinking, how is she going to feel about us killing these Parshendi? But Reshonai kind of intimidates Aldevar, so he's going to sidle his way over to Janar and kind of speak to him instead and be like, you seem to know Reshonai better than any of the rest of us here. Would you happen to have any idea how she might be feeling about this whole thing that we're supposed to be doing right now?
Well, I'm not really good at saying what other people are feeling necessarily. I think if you want to know, you should probably ask her.
Yes. Thank you, Janar. I'll kind of sidle my way over to
When in
Reshonai.
doubt, ask the person.
Reshonai, how's it hanging?
How's it hanging? Oh man, I love that.
This is not a phrase I'm familiar with.
Yes, how are you? How are you?
Very good. This is home. This is my home.
Yes, very good. You feel okay about
Just, like,
our
marching
mission?
forward.
What we've been asked to do?
She gets a little nervous and she starts humming. She'll attune to a rhythm that you don't know, but because we're being honest, it is she's attuned to deception, and is because insight doesn't exist between players apparently in this game. So she'll attune deception and be like, I'm very excited to find them. Find my people. Yes.
Yes, I would be excited to find them as well. Are you excited? What are you excited to do after we find your people?
Were you literally going to ask, are you excited to kill them?
I'm trying to find a way not to say that, in fact.
Oh, okay, sorry. I interrupted. I apologize.
As she continues humming this deception, and she's trying to put on this light air of yeah, this is fine. It's totally fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. She internally has a plan to for her, this is a return report, and she's hoping that she can dissuade the spies if they find the spies, maybe connect with the spies and find out what's going on. Because she will probably know who this is, she has high hopes that she's not coming in guns blazing. I don't know that she knows what the humans' plan is with the Parshendi. To her, because she's war averse, it's we were just told to find the spies and I can talk to them, so it'll be fine. And so she's just trying to dodge his conversation as much as she can, of just like, oh, it'll be fine. We find them. They're my people. This is my home. And now that she's in nimble form, her speech pattern has really brightened and become faster than when she was in dull form.
Yes, certainly. We are in your home. You are very much in your element. I trust your judgment and will be happy to follow you in how you would like to take care of this dispatching we've been asked to do.
I lean in, Janar leans in and goes, I've been trying to get her to lead me for days.
With that, could I make since we're out in the Shattered Plains without a guide of any kind, can I make a survival check to see if we can find the trail of this supposed spy?
I need everybody to make a survival check, actually. Yes, I need everybody to roll a survival check, actually. And Reshonai, I need you to raise, let's raise the stakes with your roll specifically.
Let's raise it.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, let's get our results here. So, let's start with Janar.
Okay. I just rolled a natural 20. I don't know why it's not showing up in roll 20, but I just rolled I have
natural
a 23.
20. Okay, sounds good. 23 for Janar, thank you. That means you get an opportunity if you roll a natural 20, so keep that in mind. Okay. And we do Aldevar. What did you roll?
22.
22, thank you. Drynin.
I thought I was great with my 16, but I was. I guess I'm just distracted by my new axe.
Yeah, there you go. 16, and then of course, Reshonai, what did you roll?
Reshonai rolled a 23, but I also rolled, I believe, a complication on my story dice.
Yes.
Is it story dice, or does it have a different name? Am I just remembering correctly?
It's called a plot die.
Plot dice. There it is. For all my plot die, I believe that symbol is a complication. So it was a 23 with a complication.
And you got the +4 due to the complication. So you can get a +2 to your roll or a +4. But your 23 reflects that since we're rolling online. So just to add the tension a little bit. So guess what, everybody? All 4 of those are successes to the DC that I was looking for. I was looking for a DC 14. We will see what the result of this success is as we continue forward in this scene. Now, also within this scene, this exploration, this scouting mission, we have to resolve 2 things. One being a opportunity from Janar, and then one being a complication from Reshonai. Complications I'll be in charge of, and I will bring up at an appropriate time. But Janar, if you recall, you use focus to narrate or to influence the story in a player-focused way, in a positive way for the players, or you can do things such as give advantage, score a critical hit, regain your focus, things of that nature. I believe all of those are at your max, though, so just it's in your court at that point. Yes.
Is this something I can hang on to and pull out, or do I need to come up with something presently?
You can hang on to it for a tiny bit. It just must be done within our scene. So if we go into combat, the opportunity is gone, right? Because we change scenes at that point. So while I'm describing, and I will describe a little bit about what we're exploring, and so cool. And you can cater it to how you will and interject if you'd like. This is something I meant to do with Drynin's opportunity back at the Covenant Stone Crossroads and forgot to. So here we go.
Could I give my opportunity to Drynin?
Ooh, you'd like to give? Let's say instead of giving Drynin the full opportunity where Christian gets full narrative control here, Josh or Janar, what would you like to give to Drynin narratively that fits within the story?
We're traveling for a little while, right?
You are traveling. Would you like me to give you a little bit of description about what your surroundings look like?
Yeah, give me a little bit of description, and I've got an idea of where I'm going to go with it. Okay.
I'll give you a little bit of like how the scene is unfolding, where you go. Because although you begin on the surface of the Shattered Plains, the path that you've been set down does not stay upon the surface. In fact, the trail that you are on leads slowly down from the blasted plateau onto the chasm floor itself. Heard it called chasm as well, but the chasm floor. Here the air is thick with moisture and the walls are alive with moss and shelled plants. There's a gentle breeze carried by the always playful wind spren as they whip down the chasm, bringing the sweet scent of moisture. As you notice small pools of water that seem to have collected in cavities of rock. Janar.
So, I'm not paying attention to the surrounding area at all. I'm not paying attention to the dirt. I'm not paying attention to creatures. None of it really has any strong interest of me. But as we are like very classically starting an adventure, Janar starts to just like talk to anybody he can about old stories he knows about the heralds. And so he starts going off on like just talking about like adventures that the heralds went on, and how there's one he remembers where Nalen ends up like just barely saving Shanna's life, and they're in like the midst of battling a giant evil creature, the shadow beast or something, and it's just it's absolutely a child's story, but it's just in his head, and it's all kind of gushing out now that he's like on an adventure and he's thinking about it. And as he's doing this, talking about these things that are probably more nonsense than anything to his companion here, I would like to give Christian's character one of those like sideways aha moments where it's like the information he's getting input ends up causing him to recognize or realize something real.
Very good. I like that. Drynin, as you're a very, I'll say inviting, right? Like your whole life, you've fit so well within groups because you listen. You give, you take, but you just are, I'll call it very mindful. You have a very mindfulness attitude of taking the experience that is around you, because therefore, I mean, isn't that all what life is about? To experience it all before we go back to the great beyond. Christian, do you have some volition or thought about what this might be able to give you insight into?
He's talking about I am listening. It's but it's that kind of thing where it's almost like white noise.
So then they went and they had to find.
Yeah, I guess I'm hearing more than I'm listening.
It was Pally's mind. I think that's why we say it that way, is those things. And then, Videla was with them. I said, well, I believe in one of those times.
And I think it's more the excitement that I'm picking up from Janar Balar. This is an adventure. This is huge. This is super fun. All this stuff.
Kind of like your Jazerzah, and I'm like that, and that like we're like, and then so if we're those, I wonder which.
Yeah, so he's basically doing a fan cast in his head of the heralds. And
which Ninja Turtle are you in our group is what he's doing.
We can't all be Donatello.
Oh my god.
Nobody wants to be Donatello.
I want to be Donatello.
Leonardo was way better.
Ned, you are Donatello.
Thank you, Josh.
But Drynin, keep going.
I think it's more, rather than any sort of specific revelation, it's more realizing that there's like, yeah, we were sort of aware that stuff was going on vaguely. There's a Shin guy, and one of the high princes is bringing a crazy guy to the plane. Something's going on, but I think I'm just starting to very loosely take that red string and start to connect dots of maybe there is something connecting all of these things, and maybe it is bigger, and maybe something's going on. Maybe there is a story here.
All right.
And,
so while they thought it was just
as
this one
Janar
monster,
Ballard,
it was all connected at the same time. Everybody was.
And I'm sort of realizing, well, maybe that's what's happening to us in some ways. Maybe there is a connection to all this.
Drynin, your openness to the story, despite it being white noise, despite the absurdity at times of what Janar is talking about, of either fan casting or how impossible these acts of heroics sound. Like that wouldn't have actually happened. That's physically not possible to happen. But your openness to it, with Janar's eagerness, I wouldn't normally do this every single session and with every opportunity, so let's not gamify it, but I would say it actually helps you progress along your goal. One of your goals.
Whoa!
This one to have a brand new experience for the one. To be open and to start to like open your mind and consider the possibility of like maybe what has happened can happen yet again, but it just happens a different way. So
just because something has happened before, it hasn't happened to me, so that's a new experience.
And then therefore would be a new experience to that. And so it does bring you insight, it does bring you comfort as well as Janar keeps moving forward. Excellent. Very creative use of an opportunity, Janar. Great work. We go back to the scene around us and Aldevar. With your inquisitive nature as a scholar, as I mentioned, there are like small pools of water that seem to be almost, some of them are inlaid into the walls of the rock. Some seem to be in like tiny, I won't call them caves because you couldn't really hide them, but I'll call them like a small enclosure, right? As the elements have carved this path, you see this small pool of water, and just due to your nature as a scholar, you are drawn to it in one of these pools that is covered with moss and like other like vines around it. And you inspect and see a few budding cremlings that appear to be hatching in the water. Despite the recent high storm that has happened, there seems to be life that is teeming in Roshar, and it just reminds you of how life is resilient here on Roshar, and despite you having to face death and possibly face death on this scouting mission here shortly, there is this rebirth. There is this idea of growth, of progression, and wait a minute. What's that right there? As you look up and you notice, as you approached the pool, all of the vines and the moss retracted, except for one patch just to the right of it. There's a small patch of vines that appears to have lingered despite your tremor and despite your being close. This is actually some of the closest you've ever been to vines this far east.
You lean a little bit closer.
As your inquisitive mind draws you to the vines a little bit closer, they do not retract. In fact, they seem to inch a little bit closer to you.
I'm going to grab... What random stuff do I have in my bag right now?
I'm
Not a
fully
surgeon's kit
reacting
yet.
like Josh, by the way. This is just nothing but Josh's reaction.
Yeah, I'm going to pull out my block of sealing wax, I guess, is a thing that I have. And
Yeah, there you go.
kind of hold it out and like poke at the vines a little bit.
All right. As you slowly get to the vine and you just start to poke it without unceremoniously, you could swear. I got to look at your character sheet real quick. Sorry, give me a sec. All right, what are your stats here? Okay.
If there's a stat that
I
you're
do
interested in
believe in
knowing
fairies.
about.
I do believe in
Yes.
fairies.
That you hear a small as it starts to like move and like seems to wriggle away from the the sealing wax before you hear just like a soft if you please stop poking me with that wax there, please.
Yes, certainly.
Thank you.
Are we all seeing this?
No, Aldevar's by himself. He's moved
Yeah, I'm not
off
paying
a little
attention.
bit to the
I'm-
side. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And
You accepted his request to lead and are currently leading us while he stayed behind.
Got it.
I
I was like, I think I know what this is, but that doesn't make any sense. Okay.
you this just small interaction with this pile of vines actually slightly
Just
shifts
responds
and
so normal.
forms into a almost like makeshift face as the vines sort of like move and writhe on their own, and like a small mouth appears and goes, I thank you for not poking me anymore. I appreciate that immensely.
You are welcome. Dear, this is what people going crazy on the Shattered Plains. This is the stories I've heard.
I've hated the sun for too long.
Janar, come this way.
Dear, I was afraid. I was afraid of this. I didn't want to alarm you. I apologize. You're not. Well, I suppose some might say you are going crazy. I don't think you're going crazy.
Now, I mean, listen, people have been saying that about me my entire life. It's just taken this long for me to hallucinate so vividly, I suppose.
Who is he talking to?
Well, this is no mere hallucination. I have been very rude. Apologies. My name is Huishan.
Huishan, my name is Aldevar. I apologize for calling you a hallucination, I suppose.
It's quite all right. I suppose humans would not be. Actually, I don't think it is all right. You've seen quite a bit of us all around. I mean, I'm not the only cultivation spread to just stick about here. I mean, you just saw the... Regardless, I don't mean to be rude, but I am slightly hurt. That's all. And I have to say, I didn't necessarily want to do this, but I felt... And there's just like this silence, a tiny bit of silence before he goes, I just wish to say I'm very impressed with you taking the time to listen to that listener woman over there. I think that showed I just think that was quite good of you.
All right. Ned, out of universe question. Well, I guess a question about stuff that is in universe. So obviously we've talked about Offspren, we've talked about Pain Spren, Fear Spren. Is Cultivation Spren a commonly known type of Spren?
Let's have you roll.
Ooh.
We're like,
What are we playing, a game?
Let's have you roll a lore test.
Yeah.
yes.
Trying to think. If,
like books.
I don't believe any.
Now, do you have any
maybe my
expertise might
literature
help in this.
expertise in case I like read something in an obscure book somewhere, but that's the only one I could maybe try and flex towards it.
I would say literature probably would not help in this instance, knowing that a lot of your literature has either been the novels or surgical history that you've read. So we'll just do a straight lore test here.
All right. Well, that would be a modded 20.
Let's go.
Okay. Typed in cultivation spren into my Google, and cultivation name generator popped up. So cultivation spren name generator.
Is that where you
Yes,
got the
yes.
name of this particular cultivation spren?
No, I made this one up.
Nice.
And
Don't
I
lie on the
mispronounced
internet.
it as well.
Don't lie.
Yes. Could you give me the correct pronunciation of that?
Hoatian.
Hoatian.
It's Hoatiahn is how I spell it.
You gotta say this name over and over again.
Hoatian.
Hoatian.
It's okay to give them a name that it's okay to pronounce every time. This is Radiant Spren.
Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you. Janar.
Janar Balar.
See? It just...
Okay. With your modded 20, you think back to all of the spren that you're familiar with. The Wind Spren, Pain Spren, Decay Spren, Fear Spren, even Awe or Glory Spren, which are rare. And you're definitely not familiar with all the types of sprens, but this is certainly one that you've never heard about before. And certainly one that you're like, well, some say they're a spren for literally any occasion and literally any emotion in any situation. You just have to have the right circumstances. So that's what your modded 20 gives you. Like, it's not outside the realm of it being impossible, and certainly you being a scholar know that you shouldn't assume that you know everything, but you've never heard of a cultivation spread before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, she is wise. As they say, still waters run deep. I mean, I came over to look at this pool, and now look at what I'm speaking to. Who I'm speaking to.
Yes. Well, I just wish to stop by and say that and introduce myself as all, and that is all for now. And I bid you good day. and the vines literally just go off, and they start to. It's really interesting, actually, because they don't retract into the rock. They travel along the rock against the force of gravity upwards. And as they travel away, the face of vines sort of like material goes back to be just not a face in the vines. They go back into just their long strands of their vine-like nature, but there seem to be like tiny crystals that also sort of like materialize every few inches or so as it travels along the path. And as you're just watching it, they seem to like pop out of existence, and as some of the vines decay and like dissipate into the wind. So a truly peculiar interaction, to be certain.
Yeah, as it's moving off, I'm like, yes, don't be a stranger. Keep it tight. Janar.
Hey, catch up.
Yes.
You're lagging behind.
These
Yes,
Asian
exactly.
phrases are just so foreign.
I was just getting some water. Janar. What's the most obscure type of spren you know of?
Oh man, obscure spread. Wow. Let me think here. Okay, so there's there's the death spread. I guess that's not everybody dies. So
Yes,
cold
that's
spren,
one thing I learned in
there's
surgeon college.
Anticipation. I don't think I see anticipation spread very often. There's what else? There's beauty spread, I guess. They're never with me.
I know the feeling. Cultivation spren, perhaps?
Hey.
What?
Cultivation spren?
You're obsessed with that word. You said that Drynin's cultivated too.
Yes.
What's the?
Yes, it's an odd coincidence, some might say. Yeah.
I've never heard of cultivation spread.
I step as conversation is happening. The complication occurs for Reshonai,
Oh, great.
as you have been going on
At this
for
moment.
about 30 or so minutes. Reshonai, you turn around to say something before you actually trip over a rock and onto into one of these pools of water, and you just, there's a small splash, and as you go to push yourself up, you grab one of the rocks that's nearby as you push yourself up and on the ground, and as you do, you realize it's no rock. It is a fallen, dead Parshendi corpse.
Rush and I will scream and push away. Sorry, into the mic. Rush and I will scream and push away from the body, and like scamper out of the water.
We ready our weapons?
Does Rush and I recognize this Parshendi? There's only so many of them left.
Yeah. Do you go and touch to the body to examine it and to see their face?
Yeah, carefully she'll creep over to do that. Even though in D&D you never answer a question in the affirmative when a DM says it like that.
Do you pull the giant lever?
Exactly. Do you touch the cursed object?
Well, Reshonai, as you go to the corpse and you reach your hands towards the corpse in the water, your hands go to it before you pull back for a moment, and you think to your culture, and you think to everything that it teaches about the dead and how you honor the dead, how you don't disturb the dead, don't touch them. And so if you do wish to push forward and touch them against everything you've been taught.
I assume that they're laying face down.
Face down.
So it's
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Is there any obvious signs of, like, were they hit by an arrow and fell? Maybe they just fell. Any signs of trauma or how they died?
I will say, let's roll for this.
Sure.
I will say it'll be with disadvantage, however.
Okay.
Due to you being a bit shaken, having touched. But let's do...
Can I ask a question quick? Just kind of like an interdict here. Just out of curiosity, because one of the things about the Parshendi is that all of their patterns are fairly unique.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just curious if she would be able to identify them regardless of whether they're on their back or not.
It's a good call out because that is correct. The patterns are unique. However, with there could be a lot of different factors why she couldn't immediately recognize it.
Okay.
Totally.
So let's have you
They're
look.
in war form. Their patterns are always the same. According to
Gosh,
while
I'm
he's
trying to
thinking
think
about
of
that.
like perception.
You think about it.
Yeah, I'll think
according
about it.
to the internet, following the events of the Words of Radiance, which is where we're at in this story, the population has dropped to around probably 1,700 listeners. So still fairly small, but not necessarily like 300 where she would necessarily know all of them.
Everyone. Yeah.
Okay, not insight, so we are going to do perception here. Let's
Sure.
have you do a perception roll here, but with disadvantage.
Okay. Disadvantage. And roll. An 11.
An 11. With the body being undisturbed, face down, looking at the patterns, them being in war form, the carapace armor being a part of their skin, part of their body, you see the battered and bruised nature of this body. It's actually quite old. It is not a recent kill. It's not new. In fact, from the amount of rough bludgeoning damage that this armor seems to have taken, perhaps even has traveled through the recent high storm all the way from the battles that are far, far to the east. And it just so happened to end up here.
So this doesn't seem like they're probably connected to the spy ring that we're looking for.
It doesn't appear. You don't feel that way, at least. You're not quite. You feel fairly confident it wasn't due to the scouting contingent that somehow died. This is older. These are clearly the signs of a large battle that happened. But without further turning the body over, viewing their face, you're not able to gauge who this is.
Reshonai will attune to sorrow and sing the song of sorrow, just quietly, to almost to someone onlooking would be prayer-like, and sing that just a short verse of the song, because the song itself is quite long. She'll just sing part of the song since she doesn't necessarily know who this was. She doesn't feel the need to continually sing the whole song, so she'll only sing part of it, and then she'll get up and gesture for the rest of her party to follow. Come this way, keep coming, come. High Storm,
Right.
come anytime, come.
I'm
And
coming. Let's take a look and see, is this one of our people? And I'm going to grab the body by the shoulder to turn it over to see if it's one of the ones we're looking
Reshonai
for.
will grab his arm as he does that. Do not touch. Release. And she'll as he pulls back. Do not touch dead.
Oh.
And she'll kind of step back and calm down. He died, and this is where he's found rest. Find spies. Mission.
This isn't one of our spies, then?
No. Look at that. And she'll kind of explain a little bit about the carapace and all the things that the DM explained with a roll of 11, so that we're all in the know. Why this is not our spy.
You're all up to speed.
So
gesture back down the chasm.
Won't have the armor like that. Okay, I will keep on going.
Oh, how fresh is this dead?
It's
Very old.
days.
Not fresh.
Very old.
Days.
Very old.
Yes.
She'll hum to disgust.
And there is some rot spren that has actually pooled around this to also give an indication of it. It's there. We're not going to go into how different types of races decay in the Roshar, but it might be a little bit more
Right this way,
yes.
this way.
It's
Move
not
on down.
dry in Roshar, just so everybody knows.
There we go. There we go.
When I see the rot spren, I'll just take a bit of alcohol and make sure I put that on my hands and splatter that off, and we keep walking.
Janar
Wisdom
turns.
of the heralds. Wisdom of the heralds.
Janar turns to Aldevar. Is it Aldevar? Is that right?
Aldevar.
Yeah.
Aldevar, and he goes, Rotsprint. That's another one.
Yeah, and I think Aldevar getting in close, the stench of the rot spren, I imagine it's never good, but I think now it's weirdly strong, especially pungent, smelling this decay, this rot happening in front of me. Never stronger than it's ever been before in my life. To kind of retch a little bit. Yes, Janar, rot spren, indeed. Are we moving on?
If this was a, he just kind of says to Aldevar as we get up to the others, he goes, they're kind of looking back at the dead body and moving forward. Janar just goes, if this was one of the stories of the heralds back home, seeing a dead body would kind of be foreboding.
Like a complication.
Were y'all talking about strange spren?
Yes,
Uncommon.
I heard someone talk about a cultivation spren once upon a time. That's maybe the strangest one I've heard of.
I was just thinking about Husakesh, the Protector. I don't know if you've heard of Husakesh. Giant water spout, appears every day, same time. Big spren, but it's unique as far as I know. It's the only spren. It's got a name. I mean, some spren have a name, but that one's got the name up there in the north. I don't know if you.
What's the Hush's? What was the name?
Husakesh. You know the Protector?
No, I don't know.
My mother would tell me about it. It one of the ones the Iriali people
one of those
up there with them.
That one of they believe in.
I mean, it's there. You can see it. It shows up at the same time every day.
Yes, you're certain the name wasn't Hoishian?
Could be. My mother told me this story when I was younger.
A big water spren that hangs out in the same spot all the time.
Yeah, like a big spout of water. I don't know. I'm just talking about cool spren.
As this conversation continues,
what are cultivation spren like?
At this time, Drynin, you come around a corner as you are sort of side by side with Reshonai, and you see not 50 feet in front of you 4 Parshendi individuals, alive, active, and looking around on the ground and in some of the cavities of the rock.
Is there sufficient cover that Reshonai could push everyone to take cover?
Yes.
Come,
yes,
don't.
Drynin, you're with Reshonai. You kind of a gesture, and immediately your battle instincts take over. Drynin, you're like, heh, and you just and you immediately
grab my axes and drop.
This narrow gorge, which is choked with storm debris, shattered rocks, wet crem, and broken bodies of Alethi and Parshendi soldiers alike, have these 4 Parshendi soldiers stepping between them, careful not to touch or disturb any of them, regardless of race or side. 3 of the soldiers are powerfully built and armored with thick carapace, but one stands apart from the others. She appears to be slender, with delicate carapace covering her forearms and shoulders.
3 of them are in war form. Is one of them in nimble form? Or work form?
You recognize it as nimble form, Reshonai.
Would that be one of
go
our
ahead
spies?
and go towards our map here. And I will try to share a picture of what this nibble form might look like. So give me a moment while you keep going with what Reshonai might be doing now.
With Reshonai's, I'm sorry on YouTube if this is not the way this is meant to be used. The expert, she has a military life expertise from being the Parshendi military. Can she tell if this, like, the difference between a scavenger mission and a spy mission, or like a recon mission? I feel like those kind of parties would be set up very differently.
Yeah, and so this you're saying with your expertises that you've got. Yeah, we want to honor your expertises, of course. What one specifically do you think would help with that? Is it like, let's
One
take
of
a look at your character
her
sheet.
expertise is military life.
Great. Yeah, your military life with your singer background. Absolutely, you are able to make a check as a result of this expertise. So, as we talked about previously, sometimes expertises just give you free information. Sometimes they unlock the door for a test, not a check. And let's have you roll an insight for this.
Great.
To deduce what is happening here.
It's a 15.
15. That's just enough to deduce what is happening here.
Oos.
Just enough to get a bead on what they are trying to do. This appears to be a scavenging party here. The nimble form singer, which you should be seeing now.
Okay.
Oh, she pretty.
This nimble form.
Drynin lowers his axes a little bit.
He recognizes cultivation, right?
She's
He's
very
a cultivated guy.
As
Game recognized game over here.
recognizes game. As she is the one directing and leading the three others to look around, you hear them talking, but you don't make out the conversation. But she absolutely is pointing towards some of the wreckage. She's pointing to over there. She's pointing to look in some of the pools. She herself is like dipping down into the water and pulling out creme with her hands and sort of like looking through it. It is a very concentrated effort, for sure.
Resh and I will grab Janar's tunic and just pull him down close, unceremoniously, to an anxiety. Mission. These are, and because she's in nimble form, it almost is like the opposite of dull form, where she like couldn't find the words. Now the words are like too fast, so they like kind of trip over themselves. This is spice. These are not spice. We looking for spice, but these are not spice. These are scavengers.
Okay.
Is mission this? Are they no spy? Or will we get... Can we take... And they don't... These are not spies.
How do you know they're not spies?
They're not spies. Not spies.
Can't scavengers spy?
Not spies.
What do you mean?
We looking for spies and these not spies.
I'm a tailor. And I have a bow and arrow right now.
Do we have to find spies, or does this count?
How can you tell that they're spies? Or not spies?
They're not spies.
Let's have everybody roll. Let's see here. I'll have everybody roll stealth, but I'll give everybody advantage here because
Thank you.
you have gotten
Even though we're
the
lightly
because
shouting.
of this. The stealth is because you're lightly shouting. The advantage is due to you have the upper hand of the situation right now.
Okay.
All right, we'll start with Drynin. What did you get?
Not great. I got a 13, but I am definitely poking up a little bit higher to get a good look at this nimble form singer.
All right, 13.
Yeah, he is.
13. Got it. Aldevar.
13, because I'm reaching up trying to grab Drynin and pull him back down behind the cover.
It's very comically. And then fighting like back and forth. Janar.
15.
15, and finally Reshonai.
I also got a 15.
Great.
Oh, that
All right.
seems appropriate.
We're pretty far away.
There does not appear to be any disturbance from this scouting party, the scavenging party, as you have this tense conversation, as Reshonai is asking for clarification, Janar trying to keep up, trying to keep along, and
Can't scavengers learn things? Can't you learn things while you're
does that need to
scavenging?
be spies? Do we need to talk, or do we just go back and tell?
Talk to
These
who?
are just scavengers. They are not the people that the mission.
I'm going to put one hand on Janar's head and one hand on Reshonai's head and kind of use them to push myself up to standing and kind of push them back and just walk forward.
all right.
No.
Why?
As Drynin, you walk forward, you make yourself known. After 10, 15 feet, the singer that is closest to you, he turns around and he can hear the disturbance, and he in Parshendi, he says, let me get my names. He goes, Kholin, we have a human. They're over here, Kholin. As Drynin, you approach, hammer in hand, I imagine, right?
Hammer in hand. The other hand is unbuttoning my top button to make sure that you can see my well-cultivated physique.
Oh my gosh.
Cultivation form
I'm
activated.
clearing my throat and pushing my golden hair back a little bit.
This is ultra instinct cultivation form.
Janar pauses, puts his bow and arrow away, and pulls out a little notepad and just is watching and writing things
And
down.
I just step forward.
As
there.
Kholin, she looks to you, she yells in Parshendi, and she goes, "Dispatch of him!" And we are going to jump into initiative here.
Oh
I
boy.
don't speak your language.
She
That sounded
attunes
inviting.
rage, and it's very pounding. It doesn't sound good.
Now,
A lot
Again.
of passion in her voice.
I should not have said initiative because we don't roll for initiative. We just
No,
move
we don't.
into a combat scene. We now start with fast turns. Drynin, you are 15 to 20 feet away from your current allies, closer to the Warform and Nimbleform Singer. We have the rest of the crew. Let's see, let's just say Reshonai, for instance, the closest would be 30 feet to where you are. You still hidden amongst in the chasm itself. Who would like to take a fast turn?
Me.
All right, Drynin, you are taking a fast turn. That gives you 2 actions. What would you like to do?
So first action, I enter vigilant stance, and I just kind of stretch a little bit, make sure the buttons are straining on my shirt, and
At his limb.
then I take my hammer and I sort of lift it and I just hold it, and immediately using a free action enter stone stance.
Nice. So you're
Because once I enter vigilant stance, I can enter stone stance as a free action.
So first action, vigilant stance, free action, stone stance, approaching and changing how you're standing. Yep.
And then I would like to ready protecting my friends.
Nice. I will say
No.
you are not able to ready an action because ready takes 2 actions to do. It's a bit confusing.
Wrong.
It's a bit confusing.
Oh no, yeah, because I use ready to
Yes.
action, and then I have to have an action to use the action.
Correct. So apologies for that, but you still have a available action if you'd like to take. If not, you may gain advantage, which is one easy action you can do if you so desire.
Yeah, I will gain advantage by being a bulwark in the way of these charging enemies.
Okay, so you would like to intimidate against the singers here, or the listeners here, yeah? And so it is an opposed check, so I'll have you roll an intimidation check to gain advantage, and it will be against their defense.
Let's do this.
All right, and what did we get?
My shirt is
Bulging.
I rolled a 23.
Yeah.
So intimidating.
You absolutely have gained advantage against one.
On top of that,
Go ahead.
On top of that, I wink at the singer or the listener in nimble form.
This is the K-pop Demon Hunters Abby moment.
This is absolutely
This is
the
soda
button.
pop.
This is soda pop. Excellent. So you absolutely have advantage. You have gained advantage over one of the war form singers, not the nibble form singer woman. But just keep a note of
Just
that.
wait.
Christian, I'll need you to remember that in a future turn there. As we
eyes
now
are big
jump
art.
to anybody else who is wanting to take a fast turn. Anybody taking a fast turn here? Reshonai, no.
No, I'm gonna take a slow turn.
Janar Blar, no. Aldevar,
Let's see what
no.
happens.
Low.
Great. The war form will go. Two of them strike out into pairs, and they rush forward. One male, one female. They rush towards you, Drynin. Not able to pick out that you are not by yourself. And so they are going to strike.
Oops.
The first is going to strike with an axe. So they move for their first action. Their second action is to strike. Here we go. And
I will say,
yes.
I've entered Stone Stance,
Yes.
so they can't.
What does that mean? What?
Stone Stance. Increase your deflect value by 1. Before an enemy within your melee range spends one or more actions to attack one of your allies, Oh, never mind. They can hit me.
But they couldn't hit me if I was standing next to Drynin.
That is true.
Man, Drynin thought he was too cultivated to get hit.
I will say, my deflect value went up by 1, so I'm
They can
good.
hit me. No, I really can't.
I'm in danger.
Actually, I don't know how to read.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, I'm supposed to roll damage at the same time. I forgot to do that. Let me do that then. All right, so we've got a strike, an axe attack. That's a D8. Here we go. Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
that is only a 13 to hit.
I just flex harder, and it can't
Hit your
even break
rock
through my
hard
shirt.
pegs.
Oh my gosh. So that one's a miss, I say.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. We are going to do a second attack. Here we go. This one is the woman as she also strikes with an axe. As you, in stone stance, move out of the way of the first one while flexing even harder. The second one coming down to you. This one is a 19 to hit.
Ooh. So remind me how deflect works.
Deflect just reduces damage.
Okay, then in that case, I definitely am hit.
Okay. You're gonna take 6 points of keen damage minus your deflect.
Okay, so 3.
So you have 3 total damage that you take.
Ow.
Yes.
Ow.
That is going to be the 2 warform pairs that they've got over here. That is all the fast turns that are happening. The other warform pair being a man, he's going to look towards the nimble form singer. We're now going to slow turns. That is everybody else here at the table. Who would like to take their slow turn first?
I mean, I'm aggressive. I'm
Janar.
in fight mode.
Good.
So I will. If everybody's okay with it, I'm gonna take a shot.
Go, Janar. You pop up. I won't make you use an action to stand up, so you pop up or from behind cover. Where are you attacking? Who would you like to attack?
Let's see here. Range on the bow is 80. Can I reach
Okay.
the lady?
You can reach the lady for sure.
Okay. I think I'm gonna fire at that one because it seems like the leader.
Yep.
And And I think Janar, because he doesn't know what's going on with Drynin, I think he might think he's like in some kind of magical trance. So he's gonna, I'm gonna do a tagging shot, which is all 3 of the actions. And
Okay.
It's you move 5 feet and make a ranged attack on a hit or a graze. The target becomes your quarry, which usually takes a minute to initiate. But if I can
Nice. Okay, sounds good. Let's roll. You're going to roll your damage and your attack at the same time.
Okay, and roll. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's an 8 to hit.
Okay, 8. That's going to be a miss.
I'm going to
But
graze with the focus then.
Spend your focus, sir, and you're going to graze, and they're going to take 3 points of damage. And they are now your quarry.
Yes.
Great. This Nimbleform singer, as she takes an arrow to the knee, she cries out, "Ah!" It's interesting to hear it yelled because it's yelled in a sort of like staccato pattern, in a different rhythm than just normal melodious speak, if you will. That's going to be all 3 of your turn or your actions on your slow turn, Janar. We now jump to Aldevar or Reshonai. Who would like to go?
I would like to
I
see
will,
what
unless you
Reshonai
really want to.
does.
There we go. Group mind.
So, vaulting the rock, Reshonai will move 5, 10, 15, 20 feet out. And attuning to peace, she will just start shouting in Parshendi, "My way, my way, my way, my way. Calm, 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 calm." Out where the nimble form Parshendi can see her, she's like she's 10 feet just off of Drynin.
Yeah.
She's out kind of in the middle with her hands up. And she will, as an action, use her Steadfast Challenge, which is an envoy ability. Spend 1 focus to make a discipline test against the spiritual defense of an enemy that you can influence.
Ooh, okay. So steadfast challenge.
Because
1
I'm
focus.
Parshendi,
Yep.
maybe she'll listen to me, that she can be influenced by me.
Okay, let's go ahead and do it. So you're spending a focus.
And what I would like
Yes.
to do before this test is made is I would like to
Sure.
pop up with like my surgical supplies readily in view, and I would like to spend a focus to aid to give Reshonai advantage on this discipline
Excellent.
test.
Great.
I love
aid.
that feature.
Aid being you spend a focus as well, right? To then just give her advantage. Yeah.
Correct.
Excellent. Sounds good. And I believe I read this correctly, but this type of like in and out of turns is totally what the Cosmere wants people to do. They want to be like, hey, I'm going to do this. And be like, oh, well, I'm going to do this. And so you don't have to spend all 3 actions before somebody else takes a turn. So really appreciate the initiative there, Aldevar, getting
Yes.
in there. So,
Plus 8 is a reaction
that gives-
anyway, so it's even more
That
flexible.
gives me
well, there you
Sorry.
go. Sorry.
that gives me advantage on my discipline check. Correct?
Against, yes, and against
And it will
their-
be against their spiritual defense.
Correct. And if you are successful, they gain a condition and have disadvantage against you for some areas. Great.
Correct.
Would it be their cognitive defense?
This one is
No.
spiritual.
It's their
Oh.
spiritual defense.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Okay. Let's take a look at her spiritual defense. Kalanai, she has a spiritual defense of 15.
I rolled
So-
a 17 with my advantage.
Boom.
So on a success, she is disoriented, which
Yep.
means it makes most tasks difficult. You can't use your reactions, and your senses count as obscured. And perception checks, you gain disadvantage. And then you also have a disadvantage on tests against me until your next turn. So
Excellent.
the idea of they think they're coming in to a fight with humans, and all of a sudden a Parshendi runs out and is waving their arms, peace, 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 to
And what-
disorient and maybe stop the combat.
And what did you say? What was the listener language that Mickey IRL said. I liked what you said. It was,
I used Mawe. Mawe is peace. Mawe.
As you call out to her, you do see that she is taken aback and surprised, and she calls out and she goes, Reshonai, in the listener language, and she recognizes you. And she is absolutely disoriented, and she is
Quite disoriented.
Now, real quick, correct me if I'm wrong, Ned and I recently had some Crunch Squad episodes here for the Stormlight Archive TTRPG, and I believe, because this is a resource I think I need to utilize more often, is that there is the ability to resist influence.
Correct.
If I'm not mistaken, right?
So,
now, go ahead.
Depending on how sort of powerful you think this influence would be towards Kholin, you can have her spend either 2 focus if it's just kind of like, okay, that's a decent argument, or 4 focus if it's like a really powerful argument in order to resist the effect. So like in your ability there where it says that you can influence this creature, whenever you see that terminology, it's kind of like in D&D where it's like if it's a creature that you can see, any creature that you can influence has the opportunity then to spend focus to resist being influenced.
Sure.
Makes
Sure.
sense.
And this is not
makes
just
sense.
an NPC. This is a PC ability that can happen as well.
Sure.
So she will spend focus to resist influence. However, because it's you, Reshonai, because she recognizes you, instead of the 1 that she would normally do, she has to spend 2 of her influence to resist this influence before stopping attack, calling it off, breaking down, to continue this line of that she has commanded these Warform singers to do.
So does that mean that technically she does not suffer from any of the ill effects of the Steadfast Challenge?
That
because
would
she
be
spent
correct.
the 2 focus to resist. Okay.
So instead of being disoriented, instead of disadvantage against you, she now has just lost 2 valuable of her focus resources, as I understand it.
And for story purposes, is Kholin someone that Reshonai specifically knows? Or is it just for whatever reason she just recognizes Reshonai?
She just recognizes you.
Right.
You don't necessarily remember her. She might have been someone young, but yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
oh, sorry. Ned coming in here with the Crunch Squad.
Yeah, what I'm seeing in the book, the opponent can choose to spend focus to resist influence. So that is basically as specific as the wording gets. It says can spend 2 focus to remain resolute. So I'm not sure that this necessarily would negate the mechanical effects of Reshonai's ability, but it would narratively still let her hold resolute against just instantly giving in to us and being friends all of a sudden.
Sure. That makes sense.
With that in mind, let's honor as written then. Sorry for ping-ponging back and forth, audience, but let's say
Crunch
she
Squad,
will
we're learning.
have the
Yeah, we are.
disadvantage and disoriented nature, but she has resist you narratively in this endeavor.
Me saying stop, or
exactly. She's not going to listen to your words, your argument, but she still is disoriented because you are a powerful, verbose speaker. Excellent.
That makes sense. That
is but one of your your actions. You still have 2 more actions to take if you like.
It's 2. Movement was 1. Steadfast Challenge was 1.
Thank you.
And so that's all that she's going to do. She's only going to use the 2 actions. But I wanted to see what everybody else was doing before coming out and making that bid for peace.
And that leaves us with Aldevar taking the last slow turn of this round here, at least on the PC side. Aldevar, what would you like to do with your 3 actions?
Yeah. Reshonai does not want us to be hurting these people, it looks like. I am trusting her. So I'm going to use 1 action to move up, I'll say, to the space immediately west of Reshonai, where I'm still like within interacting range with Drynin there.
Okay.
2 more to the right.
2 more to the right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so I'm kind of between Reshonai and
between
Drynin.
them.
Yeah.
There we go.
And I mean, I'm going to put up a peaceful, non-confrontational sort of front, so I'm going to spend 1 focus to use field medicine on Drynin. This is going to let me make a DC 15 medicine test. That is a 16, thank goodness. And
Nice.
now, Drynin, you can roll your recovery die and add 2 to the result and regain that much health.
Hey.
Nice.
Wow. I'm full. I'm back up.
Sweet.
There you go.
Okay, so that is 2 of my actions. And would you say that Drynin's form counts as cover for the sake of bracing with my final action?
Like a stone, like hiding behind a stone.
Yeah.
I did specifically stand
Yes,
to be
it's
a
stone
big.
stand.
He does. He's in
That's right,
stone
you're
stance.
in stone stance, so I don't even have to worry about bracing.
Why the heck not? Yeah.
I'll say what I'm going to do instead is
ahead.
I'll gain advantage against Kholin. I'm putting on like a
Great.
show of I'm here peacefully, I'm here to heal. And so just trying to show her, hey, look, I am healing him. I can heal you guys as well. Would you like that?
Okay.
Hey.
So what type of a skill are you proposing then, Aldevar?
Perhaps. I guess I'm trying to persuade her.
All right, sounds good. Let's roll persuasion against her spiritual defense, which
All
I
right.
recall, as you recall, was a 15.
Come on, baby. That's a 19.
Nice.
Hey.
You now have gained advantages against Kholin. So, well
Got
done
the
there.
hot dice tonight. Thank goodness.
Very good. Excellent. Sounds good. I had a thought. It's fleeting. Oh well. Let's jump to the slow turn of the NPCs. The other Warform Singer, they are taking out their bow, and they are going to. They're still going to go for it. Kholin has not called off the attack, so they're going to spend one of their actions to pull out their short bow because they have their axe, and they're going to. Yeah, they're going to try and. They're going to go for actually Janar, because Janar, you were the one that shot Kholin directly. So
Yeah.
for an attack of the bow, that's a d6. Here we go. Ooh, does a 12 hit you?
A 12 hit my physical?
Yes,
defense?
your physical defense.
It does not.
All right.
Ah.
So that war form does not get a shot off towards you, Janar. And then we go to Kholin, who is speaking to you, Reshonai, and she is her turn. She's instead going to. What can she do? Nimble form. What we got for nimble form?
Call off the attack. Was
She
an option.
That is always an option.
Nimble form doesn't do a whole lot for battle. A lot of it is other things.
Utility.
That my
So
decides to
she
stop working.
she calls to you, Reshonai, actually, and she's going to yell in your language, and she goes, "You have sided with the enemy. You have given yourself to them, to be their servant, to be their slave, and to abandon your brothers and sisters." She is going to try to convince you and wear you down in this argument. So she's going to roll a persuasion check against your defense then.
Okay.
So let us, I'm just trying something new here.
Is that
Right.
all in like singer speak, or
Yes,
are
this
they?
is
Yeah.
all singer speak.
What emotion is she
Persuasion.
attuned to, Thomas?
Irritation. Which I'm
Yeah.
not sure if that's
Okay.
a
No, that
listener
works.
one, but
That works.
yes. Sure.
Anxiety's one too. That would make sense.
It's
Anxiety would make sense. Here we go.
I don't know that it's very specific. It's mostly I think emotions.
All right.
It's how they
What's
show
your
emotion.
spiritual? What's your spiritual defense, Reshonai?
My spiritual defense is 15.
15. Right. Ooh, I don't think she did enough. Let's double check here. Nope, she got a 12. She got a 12 against you. So the argument, she calls out, trying to influence you, trying to call you down. However, the words fall to your ears, and although you may be accepting them, it doesn't cause you to falter and lose your focus as a result.
Because she failed, can I do a free action banter back to let her know that she failed?
It's technically an action, but sure, why not?
Banter is a free action. You can speak
Is
freely
it?
at any point.
There we are. I apologize. Yes.
So just a short, because
Go
it's in her singer language, it's finally in the way that she normally speaks of. Does it look like I have sided? Does it look like I am a slave to these humans? I'm out here fighting for them.
At the end of this round of combat, we have this tense conflict where Drynin in stone stance, ready to protect, ready to cultivate, as Janar from the back, calling the shots as he sees them, and Reshonai at odds with her known acquaintance, Kholin. We have to figure out how this exchange and conflict ends on the next episode of Stonewalkers. What? Before we end, Aldevar, I would like you to progress one step forward into bonding a spren.
Hey, baby, there we go. One third of my way to speaking the first ideal.
To those of you who are unfamiliar
Yes.
Stop
with what a cultivation spren is.
Stop poking me. Excellent. All right. Well, this is fun, guys. It's been so long since we recorded. I'm just giddy with anticipation. So glad we get to record. So glad another episode's going to be coming out in 2 weeks. And I just want to thank my players. As always, thank you so much for joining, playing this wonderful game with me. But listeners, thank you for following along on YouTube. This is a new fun endeavor that we're doing as ICF, visual podcasting. Who would have thought? But here we are. It's 2026, baby. And we are so excited to bring you the Cosmere in all its shapes and forms. If you like what we're doing, a subscribe would go a long way. A like would go a long way. A share would go a long way. You know what? A comment would go a long way. All the things would go a long way. We'd love to hear if you've gone through this adventure, what happened in this endeavor or this scene with your own party. I would just love to get that engagement from you. You don't have to comment, though. We'd love it, but you can also shoot us an email, icastfireball2020@gmail.com.
You must comment. If you're here this long on this episode,
you have to comment.
must be commenting.
Listen to Josh,
Influence
then.
them.
Don't listen to me. Or you can join our patreon.com, icastfireball20, where you can join our $5 a month tier and tell us in our Discord. Or you can look at our other visual podcast that we tried out on our Patreon-exclusive visual podcast called Fizzband, which is set in the D&D world. But as always, we have a sister podcast. Boom! Christian. Boom! Ned. Both of you are on that sister podcast. It's called Improv Tabletop. There are fun shenanigans going around where there is Bump in the Dark is the literal name of the TTRPG system, right, Ned?
Yeah, and with Christian, we just started recording a very special campaign we're going to do just for our patrons. It's called Help, We Beat Strahd in our D&D campaign, and now he's back for revenge in real life. And we've recorded the first couple episodes of that, and it's been real fun so far.
That's
Ooh,
really
very
good.
fun.
That's
What system does it use?
Very Stranger
We're using
Things.
Fate Accelerated for that one.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
there
you
we
are.
go. Oh, man. And whether Strahd is the vampire or just Ned's cat, you'll have to find out. So go join their Patreon to get that bonus content. But lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and fellow active adventurers. But till next time, I'm Thomas, your GM, and around the table we have
Christian Randall as Drynin.
I'm Mickey and I play Reshonai.
I'm Ned. I play Aldevar Walde.
I'm Josh, and I play Janar Balar.
Let's brave the storms, speak the ancient oaths, and we'll see you all next time.